Hello, you youth of the internet. Well, hello, people, because this is my way to say hello, to say hi, because I know that hello for American people is like very hello, like this is very British. But, today I am making my video to talk to you about my blood test and my ultrasound scans. And I know it's been a long time since I made my last video, but I wasn't feeling good, so I decided I won't make a video of me crying. Even though I am feeling like crying right now, but whatever, just keep the smile. So I had to do these exams between the 3rd and the 8th day of my Shark Week. So the 3rd day I went to the laboratory to have my blood taken, and I had to do it with my stomach empty, basically. So I don't know if there is a word to say that in English, but there is one in French. And so the day before the blood test, I stopped eating at 8 p.m. And so the 3rd day, I went to the laboratory and they took 7 blood tubes. But I had my stomach empty, so I almost passed out, but not really. Like, I was feeling really bad. I was like, please stop taking my blood. And so it went kind of bad because the lady took 5 tubes and then I had sort of a headache and everything was grey. Like, I almost passed out. So she had to stab another needle in my arm, in my vein, to take the 2 tubes that were left. So I already had 2 holes in my arm. It wasn't a great pleasure at all, but then I went to university and I ate something really French because it was a pain au chocolat, which is basically like a croissant with chocolate in it because I love chocolate. And then, so this was Friday. I don't remember like what day of the month, but it was a Friday. And like the next day I went to a city which is a bit far from mine, like not that much, but taking the bus, it was very far because I had to take 1 bus and then a train for 1 station. And like the bus journey, if I can call it like so, was very long. But in the end, I went to that exam center and I had my pelvic ultrasound, and a pelvic ultrasound. This isn't comfortable at all. Like, the thing that the doctor puts on your belly is very close to to your genitalia, and I am dysphoric about that part of my body. And like, that was horrible. But in the end, I had it done, and it was like, I don't know, like a maximum of 10 minutes long, but it seemed to last for an hour or so. So then I came back home, and then was Sunday. So, you know, in France, during Sundays, people don't do anything. Almost everything is closed, and the exam center was closed. And then it was Monday, and so Monday morning I went to the exam center once again, but at that time I took a bus and then another bus. And what happened next? I had my breast ultrasound. It wasn't a great pleasure too. No, it wasn't a great pleasure neither. I'm talking a good English. But strangely, it was less uncomfortable than the pelvic ultrasound, even though I am very dysphoric about my breast. But in the end it was done, and I had nothing more to do, and I had the results very quickly, and I took the results from my pelvic ultrasound too. And so everything is fine, fortunately. And then it was Tuesday. On Tuesday I cried a lot. It was 2 weeks ago, and I cried the hell out of my body. Like, you know, I had Satan inside of me, and I cried so much that Satan came out of my body. Because the laboratory called me, and they told me, hello, your blood test has to be done again because we made a mistake somewhere. And so I started crying because I was thinking maybe I have to do it with my stomach empty. And when they called me, my stomach wasn't empty at all. Like, in the morning when I wake up, I take breakfast. So my stomach wasn't empty. And because I had to do the exam, you know, like I had a certain period to do the exam. Like the day not the day before, but the day after was the last day I could have it done. And I was thinking, maybe I won't even have the time to get the results before going to the endocrinologist, and it would have seriously been the worst thing of my year if it had been like so, but fortunately it hasn't been like so. And so yeah, on Tuesday after class, I went to the laboratory to know if I could have my blood taken, and they told me, no, you have to come back like another day because this is too late. Because, you know, there is this man that comes to the laboratory to take the blood of every people, the ones who had their blood taken, and I had to have my blood taken before he came to the laboratory to give the blood to another laboratory who could analyze it. This is kind of complicated, but so on what day was it? Wednesday, I came to the laboratory and I thought I would be late for class, but I wasn't, fortunately. And so I had 2 other tubes taken, and in the end everything was fine. But the lady, it was the same as Friday. She told me, oh, I already saw you recently, and I was like, yes, but there was a mistake made somewhere. And so she stabbed the needle in my right arm once again, but in the 3rd vein of my right arm. I don't know how she found it, because my veins tend to hide themselves. And this vein is a bit strange, because, you know, like, one day I went to give my blood to the ones who need it, and like the man who stabbed the needle in my arm, I don't know, like, stab is very violent, but I don't know another word. But like, he decided to put the needle in my vein, and the blood wasn't coming out of it. And that time the lady, she probably chose the same vein, and the blood wasn't coming out of it. And I have other things to do. And she couldn't take the other veins because I had a bruise because of the last time, like when I had the first tubes taken. So she took my left arm. So I already had 3 holes in my right arm, and she made another hole in my left arm, but in the end everything was fine. And so I just took my results from like the last blood test, because the other part of the blood test will be sent to the endocrinologist. And so that's it. And in 10 days, because we're on the 13th of December, in 10 days I will see the endocrinologist. Finally. And that's it. For now, because like, I could make videos on another subject, but I decided to make that video on the exams I had, because this is a big thing. But I guess that soon I will make a video on how I feel before taking tea, and like how my body is before taking tea, so that we can see the changes that will happen, both on the mental side and the physical side. So that's it. I know how I have struggles to speak right now, but I guess you will understand what I was meaning. So take care of you and see you next time.